Well, hello again and welcome to another episode of Weird News and Wacky History, a look behind the scenes of what's been happening throughout the years. I'm your host, Pastor Roland Moss, that old history dude. It's big, it's cold, and it's way out of the ordinary. It's only in Alaska. Alaskans do things a bit differently. The 49th state has no state lottery, lack of interest. There are no drive-in movie theaters, not enough hours of darkness in the summertime. And with no amusement parks, Alaskans just make their own fun, like the Glacier View fireworks show. Some 100 miles up the Glen Highway from Anchorage, Glacier View, yes, you can see Matanuska Glacier from there, celebrates the 4th of July in a distinctive way, driving vehicles off a cliff. The wife hit a moose with a car, explains Arnie Hernscher of the origin of this strange celebration. And so this was in 2005. We launched the car, and then it was like, well, heck, that was kind of fun. These days, locals are joined by visitors from all over for the festivities. This metal rodeo starts with a parade, Alaskan style, featuring a caravan of the battered and blighted beaters slated for demolition. No crepe paper, but lots of craziness. Then in the afternoon, the vehicles take flight. No marching bands, no rockets bursting in air, but just pure northern insanity. After the last clunker stops rolling, the entire mess is hauled away for scrap. As locals like to say, there's more to do in Glacier View. Look for me there next year. Sometimes being so remote makes you hungry for Taco Bell. Bethel in southwestern Alaska is accessible only by air or by sea. The 6,300 residents living in Alaska's 8th largest city were delighted when notices appeared around town in 2012 that Taco Bell was coming to town. Flyers even included a phone number and website. It'd be the 25th outlet of the Tex-Mex chain in the state and a very welcome addition to the town's fast food scene, which featured only a Subway. Sadly, it was a cruel hoax. Local radio station KYUK broke the sad news. I repeat, Bethel is not getting a Taco Bell. Sorry, folks, you won't be able to munch on cheesy gordita crunches or grande nachos. But Taco Bell wasn't going to let that happen. The fast food folks at the Bell arranged an emergency airlift from Anchorage, 399 miles to the east, to make 10,000 Dorito Locos tacos. If we can feed people in Afghanistan and Iraq, we can feed people in Bethel, said company CEO Greg Creed. The company flew in 950 pounds of seasoned beef, 500 pounds of sour cream, 300 pounds each of tomatoes and lettuce, and 150 pounds of cheddar cheese. You'd be hard-pressed to find anyone in Bethel who doesn't sincerely love Taco Bell. Living in Alaska does draw neighbors closer together, though. Being neighborly in Alaska is just a bit different in Whittier, about 60 miles south of Anchorage, where almost everyone in town lives under one roof. That's right. Most of the 318 residents of Whittier live in a single 14-story condominium called Baggage Towers. Originally constructed as housing for military families back when Whittier was an army base and post office in the 50s, it remained the town's primary housing when the military left in 1969. Offering all the convenience of a normal small town anywhere in America, yet all conveniently located in a single building, Baggage Towers houses the post office, the mayor's office, church, town store, police station, and more under one snug roof. What about the town school, you ask? Well, an underground tunnel allows the 50 to 60 students to walk to school next door without ever stepping outside. Most folks work for the railroad, the school, the harbor, or the tunnel. Oh, did I mention that getting there from Anchorage involves driving through a 2.5-mile-long one-way tunnel? Rated for 40 below zero temps and winds of up to 150 miles per hour, you also share it with the railroad train. Next time you're in the area, be sure to stop by. I'll leave the front porch light on for you. And they even do the state flag differently up north in Alaska. Alaska in the 1920s was a neglected U.S. territory, suffering depression and declining popularity due to congressional negligence. Benny Benson was also struggling after losing his home to fire and his mom to pneumonia, both at age 3. By 1927, the 14-year-old native lad was in a Seward orphanage. But then the territory and Benny found each other. Realizing Alaska had no territorial flag, Governor George Parks announced a flag design competition for all Alaskan kids grades 7 through 12. Encouraged by his teacher to enter the contest, the 7th grader had little hope for a simple design. Listen to how Benny described it. The blue field is for the Alaska sky, and the forget-me-not, an Alaska flower. The North Star is for the future state of Alaska, the most northerly in the Union. The Dipper is for the Great Bear, symbolizing strength. Benny was sure he had lost after he misspelled the word strength on his entry. Not hardly. Of the 142 entries received in Juneau, Barry's was unanimously voted the winner. Awarded a gold watch and the privilege of being the first person to raise the new flag, Benny was a goodwill ambassador for Alaska until his death in 1972. Benning, Alaska. Good for each other and good for America. And that's about all the time we have for this episode of Weird News and Wacky History, a look behind the scenes at what's been happening throughout the years. I'm your host, Pastor Roland Moss, author, historian, and speaker, hoping that all of your history may be a bit weird.